facility for Topgolf. As KWCH News reports that the Topgolf facility will be across the street from the Stryker Sports Complex and is set to open the spring of 2023. And Wichita Assistant City Manager Scott Rigby says it'll be funded through a star bond.
It's a great statement for Wichita to say that a top venue like Topgolf has chosen to come into our market. Instead of that state sales tax going off to Topeka and potentially being spent elsewhere in the state allows them, the star bonds, to collect that sales tax, that state sales tax, and keep it in Wichita and to be utilized to further development of that area.
That audio from KWCH News. In other news, the free summer meals through the Wichita Public School District has officially started today. KSN News reports they operate through the Summer Food Service Program, with breakfast and lunch being available at 28 different locations. No registration or pre-ordering is required, and all locations offer the grab-and-go options. Meals are free for all children age 1 through 18. Adults are also welcome to purchase a meal. Now let's go to sports.
Today is the 1st of June, which also means that COVID restrictions for recruiting and NCAA athletics have been lifted. Operations can return to somewhat of a normal look, with appearances on campus by recruits actually something that can take place now. And we are officially 100 days away from kickoff of the NFL season, as the Cowboys and Buccaneers will be game number 1 this year. And over the weekend, the NCAA baseball tournament field was announced. 2 teams from the American, 4 from the Big 12. From the KGSO Sports Desk, I'm Mason Voth.
As we continue dealing with every aspect of life happening from home,
Cartridge World is here for you.
Teachers and veterans can get 10% off with Cartridge World's unmatched customer service.
And businesses can get free same-day or next-day delivery on orders before noon.
As part of their no-cost printer program, all you have to do is buy the ink and toner, and they'll supply the printer and support for free.
Cartridge World is here to serve you at Maple Ridge Center on the west side
and on the east side at Rock Road and Tallgrass Plaza.
You want certified protection on any pre-owned vehicle, any make or model, all at one location? Head to Rusty Eck Ford.
If you're searching for the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle, look no further. Want a certified pre-owned Honda? Come to Rusty Eck Ford. Want a certified pre-owned Toyota? Come to Rusty Eck Ford. Want a certified pre-owned Chevy, Jeep, or Ram? Come to Rusty Eck Ford. We're now offering certified pre-owned vehicles of all makes and models. Over 300 to choose from. With Rusty Eck Ford's Blue Advantage program, receive 90-day, 4,000-mile comprehensive coverage with every vehicle going through a 139-point inspection. Rusty Eck Ford is your certified pre-owned powerhouse. Don't forget to ask about our optional 4-day or 200-mile exchange policy.
We've taken the shopping out of the equation, and the solution is simple. Rusty Eck Ford, your certified pre-owned powerhouse. If you don't come see us today, we can't save you any money. RustyEckFord.com.
Excludes Lincoln and select high-end premium brands.
Market information, Mid-America Ag Network. Taking a look at Kansas and Oklahoma's closing cash grain bids. It's Tuesday, June 1st, and we saw some upward movement in the futures markets for the grains. We saw some really positive, strong moves in the cash markets as well. Let's take a look. We'll start at Sumner County, Kansas, where the wheat finished at $6.26, the corn $7.08, Milo $6.73, soybeans $15.28. At Concordia, wheat finished at $6.28. The corn was at $6.84 at the end of the day. Milo $6.59, soybeans $14.99. At Goodland, the wheat $5.97, the corn $7.19, Milo $7.04, soybeans $15.39. At Garden City, the wheat finished the day at $6.28, the corn $7.49, Milo $6.99, beans $15.19. At Fredonia, wheat closed out at $6.36, corn $7.32, Milo $6.88, soybeans $15.39. And at Belleville, wheat was at $6.18, corn $6.74, Milo $6.49, soybeans $14.89. In Oklahoma, Panhandle Hooker, our starting spot, the wheat $6.22, corn $7.58, Milo $7.33, beans $15.08. And at Ponca City, wheat was at $6.23 at the close, $7.05 on the corn, $7.24 on Milo, and $15.24 on soybeans. And our last stop today is Enid, Oklahoma, $6.33 on the wheat, $7.09 on the corn, $7.54 on Milo, and $15.59 on soybeans. Grab the calculator to do some math. Here are the averages. $6.23 the average across Kansas and Oklahoma on wheat. That's up 24. Corn finished at $7.15 on the average across the two states. That's up 32. Milo had $6.98 for the average between Oklahoma and Kansas. That also is up 32. And soybeans had a good day. $15.22 the average across the two states on beans. That's up 17. So corn and Milo both up 32. Wheat was up 24. Soybeans up 17. Kansas and Oklahoma closing cash grain bids.
Your local weather on KQAM. Brought to you by Derby Mattress. No dancing animals, no gimmicks. Your locally owned hometown mattress store at 105 South Baltimore in Derby.
A bit more sunshine trying to break through this afternoon in Wichita. Still can't completely rule out a stray shower or thunderstorm. Northeast wind 5 to 10. Daytime high right around 70. We'll keep that chance of rain in tonight and the possibility of some fog with lows dropping into the mid-50s by morning. For Wednesday, a mix of sun and clouds, turning warmer, slight chance of rain, a high near 76. With your forecast, Frank Waugh.
That's your latest Cake First Alert weather update on the Big Talker, KQAM.
At 4:06, it's currently 72 degrees.
Fighting for freedom every day.
They are absolutely desperate to pretend the last 4 years never happened and for them to go back to what they liked to do before, which is create these massive spending bills to pretend that it's really, really important to you when you only get about 5% of what's in the bill, and they can't do it because we're aware of it. We're paying attention to it, and they don't like that.
This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Well, we are back at a brand new month, a brand new day, a brand new week. After Memorial Holiday. Hopefully you got to enjoy that one. Welcome into the Voice of Reason. I'm Andy Hooser, broadcasting live out of the heart of the nation here in Wichita, Kansas, on our flagship radio station, all over the country on radio and TV, and our live streaming and our podcasting afterwards as well. Although we are not on Facebook Live right now. Not sure why. It just won't connect. So I don't know if we got booted off there or if it's just a technical issue. We'll try and work on that throughout the show, and hopefully we'll be back up there tomorrow. But we did share it on the social media for the YouTube channel, plus the LinkedIn, plus the Twitch.tv, and everywhere else that we're at. All of it at Hooser Reason. Welcome into the program on your post-holiday. I'm going to try and get through. Here's the thing. I feel fine today. I feel totally great, but the voice is a little wonky, and for some reason, whenever I do end up getting a cold or if weather changes or whatever, it settles in the throat. Now, I feel good. I've been doing the vitamin thing. I've been trying to stay healthy. I've been drinking a lot of tea and everything. So I feel great. It's just kind of weird settling in the throat there. So we'll roll with it today. I can't get too terribly excited, I guess. Or we can just do it in a really different way. Yeah, welcome into the show. Great to have you along. Hopefully you had a wonderful, fantastic weekend with you and your glamping, as we talked about at the end of last week. Andy, what's glamping? That's when you go camping and you pretend that you're actually camping while you're sitting in an RV with electricity, because that's actually not camping. That is called taking technology out into the woods, and that goes against the old camping philosophy of going out and trying to survive outdoors. So hopefully you got to enjoy your glamping in the lakes or the camping sites or the barbecues or whatever you do during the Memorial Holiday, and hopefully you actually enjoyed the true reason for the holiday, which we tried to share on social media after, of course, now I'm not going to go down the road. Everybody's already done it with Kamala Harris not even saying anything about the soldiers, but being so self-centered like most of society is today, where you take a selfie shot of you with your little sucker face, and then you say, Happy Memorial Day, everybody, enjoy. But you don't say, you're the vice president of the United States, and you don't say anything about the military and the fallen soldiers on the reason that we actually have the holiday. I don't need to go down that road. You already get the picture. It's disrespectful, but she's been disrespectful the entire time. There are few people in this world, very few people, that actually get under my skin and bother me like she does. I can count all of them on one hand, and I don't even remember any of them right now other than Kamala Harris, because there are very few people, just the tone, the condescending attitude, the fake laugh, the lack of decency for other human beings. There are very few people that bother me like that, and she is one of them. She is at the top of that list. Welcome into the program. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, we got Todd Lindsay. He'll be coming on to talk about the PPPs, the personal protection programs, the money for the small business that went out during the COVID pandemic last year. How many small businesses actually got to receive them? How many didn't receive them? How many are still struggling right now? And do we need more money to go out into the economy from the federal government? So we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. I think that's kind of interesting. We have more celebrities, wannabe celebrities, wanting to run for public office over the country. Is that where politics is going? And did Donald Trump open up that mindset? Did Donald Trump open up that Pandora's box about celebrities trying to run? Now, I know Arnold Schwarzenegger obviously ran for the governor of California. Like he did that way back when, before even Donald Trump ran. But now we're seeing a lot more. Obviously, we're seeing Caitlyn Jenner out in California. We're seeing Matthew McConaughey down in Texas. We're seeing others as well. So we'll get to that. Is that the future of politics where it's not based on how much you know, but how many people you have on your social media and how popular you are based on your name recognition? So we'll get into that in a little bit as well. Plus, the COVID vaccine still popping up its ugly face right now across the nation with more people getting that garbage. Sorry. And if you end up getting it, that's cool. If not, whatever. But now there's a new movement to lower the prison sentences of individuals if you get the vaccine. Is that a good idea? So we'll get into all that as well today. You can always email me, HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com. You can send me a message on the social media at Hooser Reason. I don't know if you're aware or not, and we're going to keep this short, sweet, and simple, but today is the launch of Pride Month. Now, there is, in recognition of Pride Month, there is a new line of Legos that have come out, and all the Legos are now individuals of different colors. There's a black one, a brown one, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, light blue, white, and pink. All of them different colors and all of them different hairstyles and whatever to try and celebrate Pride Month with Legos for the children. Because, I mean, remember, we need to show children about identity politics. We need to show them that you need to be prideful of who you are and what you're all about, because that identity defines you. It's not about your character. It's not about what you believe in. It's not about how you just go about, live your life, and treat other people. No, it's not about that. It is truly about your sexual orientation, and it is about your gender identification. Those are the most important aspects of you, which is why we need to have a Pride Month, right? Now, be prideful. That is my words of wisdom today. Be prideful of who you are. Whoever you are, whatever you believe in, I don't really care. Be prideful of who you are. Do not cower. Do not apologize for who you are in any way, shape, or form. And I'm talking about your heritage or your gender identification or your sexual orientation or whatever. Be prideful of who you are. As you know, I glow in the dark, which you can see if you watch any of these live streams. I glow in the dark. I am that pale because every bit of my ancestry is from either Ireland or Scotland or Germany or Scandinavia and the Nordic regions. And that's about it. That's about it. That's where I come from all mixtures of all that realm right there. I glow in the dark. I'm so white. I'm the one that blends into the snow where the polar bears can't find you. That's how white this guy is right here. And I'm okay with that. Although I do get a nice tan during the summertime if I really work on it. It's maintaining it's what's the problem, because I burn at the very beginning of the year. I'll get a really bad burn. And I got one on my back right now over the weekend, which, again, it was a great weekend. We got a lot done at the Hooser Media Network studios. We were outside. We were planting the Hooser Media Network gardens and flower beds and everything for Mrs. Voice of Reason, who's about to be doing her show on the holistic medicines, all the herbs and plants and everything. All of it. And this is the first year we've ever done this. Massive amounts. We've got it all in the ground now. It's amazing. It's really cool. Maybe we might post some of those pictures on social media for you to see. We have so much stuff in the ground, and we've never done this before. But Mrs. Voice of Reason, she is rocking it. I helped her. I got sunburnt over the weekend because I thought it was cool to take off the shirt and actually get some sun on my back and actually not glow in the dark. 20 minutes later, you should have seen a Red Lobster out there. But if I can get past that, then I can maintain it, and it looks awesome, and I can actually get a nice tan to where I don't glow in the dark and not all shiny. But I got to maintain something like that. But I'm okay with it. I am proud of my heritage. I'm proud of my Irish. I'm proud of my Scotch. I'm proud of my Nordic and Scandinavian. I'm proud of the German, as long as they're not jerks kind of thing. You know, I'm prideful of my heritage and who I am. Outside of that, I love other cultures as well. As you know, I can't eat anything without it being spicy or without it being not spicy. I need to have spice in there. So I'm fascinated with the Hispanic culture and the language and the music. I drive down the road listening to mariachi music, for crying out loud. Is that cultural appropriation? No, I would think that that's something that I can appreciate. I have no idea what they're saying, but I enjoy it because it makes me happy. They could be singing about the most depressing thing, but that music is lively, it's upbeat, it's fast, and I could smile at it because it makes me feel good. There is nothing wrong with that. Be prideful of who you are and where you come from. Your heritage, your background, your faith and religions, your whatever it is. Be prideful of who you are. At the same time, there's a line between pridefulness and being a jerk about it to where you have to rub it in everybody's face. Do I come on the radio every day and say, you know what, I am from Ireland and therefore you need to bow down to Irish music and drink a pint of beer every day? And yes, I'm categorizing it, but I'm allowed to do that apparently. I'm allowed to culturally appropriate because I'm part of it. So apparently it's okay. Do I come on and force that? No. I'm happy with who I am, but I appreciate everybody else as well. Why we need a Pride Month, I just don't understand. And by the way, this whole Lego thing boggles my mind too, because if you assume that someone is a red, if you're playing with the red Lego guy right there, what comes to mind if you're playing with the red Lego? Who is the red Lego guy supposed to be? Is that supposed to be a Native American? Because traditionally we recognize Native Americans with a reddish tinge skin color. Is that culturally appropriating? Is now that racist? I don't understand. Who's the pink one supposed to be? The female? Okay. What about the dark blue one or the light blue one? Who's that supposed to be? Who's the purple one? The green one. I'm assuming the green one's a leprechaun, right? Because I'm Irish. So the green one's got to be a leprechaun. The blue one's got to be a Smurf. I mean, the black one's got to be Darth Vader. That's exactly who these are, right? I mean, if we're going to play with the Legos as a child, do you really think about the color of the person and be like, wow, that's a gay person, or that's a bi person, or that's a whatever based on their sexual orientation? No, they see and they're like, wow, that's cool, that's black, that must be Darth Vader. Wow, there's a green one. I'm going to put them underneath a rainbow and I'm going to make them be a little leprechaun. Is that racist or is that cultural appropriation? I don't get it. Be prideful of who you are, but let's stop trying to rub it in other people's faces. As we mentioned before, identity politics has been and always has been one of the dumbest ideas, because you put yourself in such a box to where this is where you have to believe, this is how you have to feel, this is how you have to think, this is how you have to vote, this is how you have to associate, and it doesn't need to be that way. I do not care, and I'll be very, very clear. I do not care in any way, shape, or form if you are gay, if you are lesbian, if you are transsexual, if you are whatever. I don't care. If you come up to me and shake my hand and say, hey, how are you today? I'm going to be nice to you. If you come up and say, hey, guess what? I'm gay, therefore you need to respect my authority, then I'm going to call you a jerk. I don't care. We don't need to be outward and just express everything to where everybody needs to accept you. And if you don't, then you're just a bigot. That's where the line has been drawn. We've made really good grounds for the LGBTQ community, for them to have equal say and equal, whatever in society, which I didn't know that was an issue. If it is, then you know what? We need to treat everybody fairly. That's all we need to do. Outside of that, I don't care. I don't care what you do with your life. You don't need to know my personal life. I don't need to know your personal life. And that's where most people are, I think, in the nation. The average go to work every day, put food on the table kind of person, women and men, that's where they're at. They just don't care. But when it gets rubbed in your face so much to where you must accept, you not just need to recognize and acknowledge it, you need to support it, you need to embrace it, you need to call you courageous because you're now the hero of society, then it's taking it just a little bit too far. But the Legos, do you really think kids are going to get this? Do you really think the kids are going to get the whole Lego thing, LGBTQ, Legos with the multicolor? Again, we have now Darth Vader, we have a leprechaun, and we have a Smurf. I don't know the rest of them. We'll have to figure out what the rest of them actually are. But if you look at the red one and say, wow, that's a Native American, I would think that for the people that are trying to say that's racist by identifying people based on your skin color, that would be culturally appropriating. So why would you make a red one? Because I don't know what else it's supposed to be. Unless there is a certain color coordination for each individual LGBTQIA, whatever name in there, maybe there's a color that represents each one. And if that's the case, I don't know what they are. And I'm sure know that my 6-year-old, now to be 7-year-old because she is 7 today, little voice of reason, is 7 years old as of today is her birthday. And I'm pretty excited to go and celebrate that once the show is off the air this afternoon. I'm sure that when she loves Legos, she's got a bunch of Legos, she would not know what these are supposed to be if there's a color representation for each one of the LGBTQIA, whatever alphabet soup letters that are out there for that movement. She wouldn't know what they are. She would see all of them and be like, wow, cool, there's a Smurf. I love watching the Smurfs. Wow, there's a silver or a white one. That's going to be the Trolls, that movie Trolls for kids. Wow, there's Darth Vader. Wow, there's whatever. That's cool. They don't even get it. But yet we got to make that message, right?
The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Hey, it's Andy Hooser with the Voice of Reason. Fighting for conservative principles seems more difficult all the time. The progressive left seems to find new and creative ways to limit freedom, abuse power, and trample the Constitution each and every day. That's why we need the knowledge, resources, and common sense to push back, and we can help with that. Visit our website at HooserReason.com. There's some really great stuff for you. You can read the latest blog discussing topical issues and current events. Let us know your thoughts by filling out our monthly survey. Keep track of what I might be doing or where I may be speaking. Listen to the podcast of your favorite guest or show, and check out our latest Voice of Reason product infomercials. Plus, you can find upcoming show schedules and guest lineups to plan your radio listening appropriately. And finally, make sure to become a Hoosier-holic by subscribing to the free newsletter. Stay up to date on the latest news of the show, fun facts of the month, and learn new ways to defend and preserve this great republic. It's all there at HooserReason.com. Again, HooserReason.com. Go check it out. Why? Because it's kind of the reasonable thing to do. Hey, it's Andy Hooser. Want to reach out to the show? A big part of the program is you, and we want to hear from you. Let us know your thoughts of the show, maybe a guest we've had on the program, or my favorite, when you disagree with something that I talk about. You can email me at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com or send us a message through our website at HooserReason.com. The show's not about me, it's about you. So be heard and be your own voice of reason. Again, email me at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com or find our contact information at HooserReason.com. Miss part of the show? Don't worry about it. There's plenty of ways to catch the program, and here's how you can do it. First, make sure to tune in every day right here on your favorite radio station. We're here for you. Second, subscribe to the podcast on any of your favorite sites. YouTube and iTunes, Spotify and Google Play, TuneIn, Podbean, and more. Have the show automatically downloaded to your favorite device. Last, visit our website at HooserReason.com. You can listen to the podcast, catch our special features, and more. It's the Voice of Reason on radio, TV, and online, helping you defend and preserve this great republic. Hey, it's Andy Hooser with the Voice of Reason. The show's growing all the time, and as we talk about the big issues of the day, one of the big parts of the program is you. And I want you to join us on the program. Whether you agree, disagree, or just want to relieve some of that political frustration, we're here for you. No matter where you may be watching, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, go ahead and leave a comment on the live stream. Chat with other listeners and let me know your thoughts on the topic. Also chat with us on the Podbean chat room. Just go to our live stream of the show at podbean.com and chat with other listeners. You can also call into the program. Just download the Podbean app onto your smartphone, join the live stream, and call in through the app. This is your show, and we want to hear your thoughts. So go ahead and join us here on the Voice of Reason and the Hooser Media Network. Hey, miss a show? Don't worry about it. You have plenty of opportunities to watch, listen, learn, and be entertained with the Voice of Reason anytime you want. And here's how you can do it. First, become a Hoosier-holic by going to HooserReason.com and signing up for the show newsletter to get the latest on the show, upcoming guests, topical discussions, and more. Next, subscribe to the podcast and have the show automatically downloaded to any platform you like to use. You can subscribe through any of your favorite platforms with iTunes and Spotify, Google Play and TuneIn, or you can also go and subscribe directly to our Podbean website. Last, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com, search Hooser Reason, and subscribe to watch all of our shows, videos, and get notified whenever we're live. All the links and info are at HooserReason.com. For a schedule of upcoming guests on the program, daily show topics, or to reach out to the Hooser Media Network, visit us on the website at HooserReason.com. Or for general inquiries, to be a guest on the program, or to have Andy a guest on your program, email us at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com. Keep fighting for freedom with us every day right here on the Voice of Reason and the Hooser Media Network. Now, back to the show.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Welcome back into the program. 24 minutes past the hour. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Your Millennial General doing the thing we do every single day. Great to have you for the radio show, TV show, live streaming, podcasting, wherever you may be watching or listening. By the way, if you did not sign up, you missed it this month, but make sure to sign up for next month. We did get the newsletter out this morning for the Voice of Reason. You can go to HooserReason.com, HOOSER Reason.com. It's a totally free newsletter. You just sign up. It'll pop up, say, do you want to become a Hoosier-holic? You say, yes, I do. You sign up, and we'll send you that once a month email. We won't spam you all the time, just once a month. That's it. We'll send you an introductory email saying, hey, thanks for signing up, becoming a Hoosier-holic, and then you can actually get the email in. I'm pretty proud of the blog that we wrote today, or for the month. that came out today. We'll have that on the website this afternoon, so make sure to check that out as we write a blog. We have our updates for the holidays for the month. We have some other topical issues on there, the Hooser Media Network and the latest going on there. So we got some really cool stuff on the newsletter, but we did write a blog that I'm pretty happy about, a little bit different topic that normally political talk show hosts try and stay away from and don't talk about, but I don't care. So we're going to talk about it, and you can read that one once we post that on there, also on the newsletter if you did get it. You can read it there. We'll post it on the blog, on the website, on the homepage of the website as soon as the show is over, so you can go and read that as well. If you missed it, you can always sign up and you can get the next one because there's some really good info. And we got, I don't know, 10 more last month, which is really cool. So thank you for that. We appreciate that very, very much. You can find us on our social media as well at Hooser Reason on all of those social media sites. That's enough of the identity politics. I don't like identity politics. I don't like to talk about them. I don't like to focus on them because that's what politicians do. That's what the progressives love to do, is you're a certain skin color, you're a certain sexual orientation, you're a certain identity, and therefore you must think and do this because we're going to put you in this box. And I just don't like that. And I've realized as well that religion really does the same thing too. Politics and religion, man. It's weird. Religion too. You're a certain denomination, therefore you must think this way, you must do this, you must follow these little rules. It's just very strange to me. And not to say they're bad, they're just different. And I kind of enjoy listening to everything and kind of picking and choosing on what's right and what's not, on what I agree with, both politically and religious-wise. Real quickly, we got just a few minutes here before the bottom of the hour. There is a piece out of the Washington Post. And as we talk about, now remember, the Biden administration, when they talked about inflation, they praised inflation by saying it was a very good thing, saying that it's a sign of a proper economic recovery, saying that things are going well. It's a product of their economic policy succeeding, because apparently when prices go up, when gas prices go up $2 a gallon, when you have lumber that's up 10 times right now, when you have other raw materials and other goods that are extremely expensive right now because of inflation on how things are growing by close to like 4%, I believe. What was it, 4.2% last month, which was the largest growth of inflation in a month time since like 2008 during the Barack Obama era. So we're just continuing on the Barack Obama administration with Joe Biden right now. When that goes, they said it was a very good sign of success for the economic recovery, which you laugh at and know that it's stupid because that's not true. But that's what they tried to say. The Washington Post has come out now and said that companies are trying to compensate by creating larger boxes but smaller packages when they try to sell their items. So they're using it on their end, trying to say, oh, look, you're getting, remember those boxes like, the Doritos bag where it's like 33% more family plan. And you grab the family bag that's 33% more, and the bag's still only half full, but the bag's a little bit bigger. Drives me nuts because Doritos are my favorite, by the way, and I have not had any in a very long time going down this health kick, but I love them. But when they say the family plan, and you get the 33% extra or whatever, the bag's still only half full and the rest of it's air. Drives me nuts. But that's what they're doing. Now we're starting to see larger packages, but with smaller amounts of content in them to charge more because the prices are going up. That's the way businesses, the private sector, is trying to compensate for the inflation rate. A little bit concerning? I would say so. You're paying more for about the same because the box looks bigger, so therefore you're getting more, right? Not necessarily the case. Todd Lindsay, he'll be coming on talking about small business, the PPP loans, and economic recovery from COVID when we come back right here for a Tuesday version of The Voice of Reason. Stay here.
The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Hey, it's Andy Hooser. While you listen to the delightful broadcast of The Voice of Reason, don't forget to check us out and follow us on all of our social media sites. Whether you're using Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Minds.com, or Instagram, we're there for you. Find us at Hooser Reason on any of your social media platforms. You'll see special commentary, links to the articles and news that we use on the show, and videos of the broadcast. Plus, you can directly send us a message on social media during the show to let me know your thoughts. Many already do, and it's a great chat room for all of our great listeners. And you can always sign up for the Patreon site to get exclusive content, maybe hear show products before we air them on the radio, and a lot more. And when you support us on Patreon, you also help the show be able to fight for conservative values each and every day. So it's a win-win. Just find us at Hooser Reason on all of your social media platforms, or you can find a link to all of our social media sites on our website at HooserReason.com. We know you're on social media already, so bring some reason into your day. Why? Because it's kind of the reasonable thing to do. The Hooser Media Network is way more than just the voice of reason. It's your source to find numerous different online talk shows, podcasts, TV, and radio programs, all in one simple online location for you. From political talk to health talk to whatever you may be interested in, we're here for you. And I tell you, it's growing every day. Catch Tracy Maxfield with her podcast Engage, Educate, and Empower, discussing mental health issues in children and teenagers. From bullying, teenage suicide, addiction, ADHD, and so much more, learn from Tracy and her guests about symptoms, signs, and ways to talk to your children, plus so much more. Having battled depression, being the author of the internationally acclaimed book Escaping the Rabbit Hole, and being a retired nurse, Tracy is kind of the go-to on the subject. Make sure to find her on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, along with her website at tracymaxfield.com. Also, make sure to tune into the weekly podcast Jump, Pivot, and Roll with Shannon Stiles and Rachel Murphy. Taking that next big leap of faith is hard. Trying to write a book, maybe struggling with a relationship, looking to take that next big career step. What's stopping you? There's a lot of big questions there, and they're questions that Rachel and Shannon want to help with you each and every week. It's Jump, Pivot, and Roll on any of your favorite podcasting sites and on Facebook and YouTube. All of these shows and a heck of a lot more can be found on the Hooser Media Network Facebook and YouTube channels. Make sure to follow and subscribe to check them out today. Follow all the shows, and if you have any inquiries, check us out at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com. Hey, miss a show? Don't worry about it. You have plenty of opportunities to watch, listen, learn, and be entertained with the Voice of Reason anytime you want. And here's how you can do it. First, become a Hooserholic by going to HooserReason.com and signing up for the show newsletter to get the latest on the show, upcoming guests, topical discussions, and more. Next, subscribe to the podcast and have the show automatically downloaded to any platform you like to use. You can subscribe through any of your favorite platforms with iTunes and Spotify, Google Play and TuneIn, or you can also go and subscribe directly to our Podbean website. Last, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com, search Hooser Reason, and subscribe to watch all of our shows, videos, and get notified whenever we're live. All the links and info are at HooserReason.com. Oh, hi. You know, conservative messages now are more important than ever before. Election season, state legislative issues, and a rise in the radical left socialist progressive agenda. What we really need now more than ever before is knowledge and wisdom. That's where we come in. Hi, I'm Andy Hooser with the Voice of Reason, and I'm your voice for reasonable talk, conservative commentary, great guests and entertainment on radio, TV, and the internet. It's time to bring some common sense back into the discussion. National issues, state legislative issues, no matter where you may be, upcoming elections, and a heck of a lot more, we can bring traditional values, constitutional principles, and local activism back. And here's what you can do. First, follow us on all the social media platforms at Hooser Reason. You can watch the live stream of the show, leave comments, and even call into the program. Second, make sure to subscribe to the podcast on all of your audio devices, from iTunes and Spotify to Google Play and TuneIn. Make sure to subscribe to have every episode automatically downloaded so you don't miss a single episode. Third, make sure to visit our website at HooserReason.com. You can catch our monthly blog talking about deeper discussions, see who's coming on the program, plus you can sign up for our free monthly newsletter to catch the latest on the show, monthly topics, upcoming interviews, and more. It's time to be that local activist again. That's what the Voice of Reason's all about. Why? Because that's kind of the reasonable thing to do. And it's time for you to speak up, speak out, speak loud, speak proud, speak the truth, and always speak some reason. Hey, it's Andy Hooser with the Voice of Reason. The show's growing all the time, and as we talk about the big issues of the day, one of the big parts of the program is you. And I want you to join us on the program. Whether you agree, disagree, or just want to relieve some of that political frustration, we're here for you. No matter where you may be watching, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, go ahead and leave a comment on the live stream. Chat with other listeners and let me know your thoughts on the topic. Also chat with us on the Podbean chat room. Just go to our live stream of the show at podbean.com and chat with other listeners. You can also call into the program. Just download the Podbean app onto your smartphone, join the live stream, and call in through the app. This is your show, and we want to hear your thoughts. So go ahead and join us here on the Voice of Reason and the Hooser Media Network.
when reason meets radio. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Darn right you are. Welcome back into the program. Radio, TV, live streaming, podcasting, trying to cram that 10 pounds of reason into that 5-pound bag. Trying to rebrand the millennial generation, one radio listener at a time, after making the comment of, yes, today is Little Voice of Reason's 7th birthday. 7 years old. It's hard to believe. We're getting messages all over social media. I told you. I don't know what's going on today. I feel great, but it's settled right in my throat. Cold, sinuses, allergies, not sure what's going on. It is springtime, so we're making it through. But yes, Little Voice of Reason's birthday today, 7 years old. It's amazing, hard to believe. Thank you for all the kind messages on social media right now. There's a few things I want to get to today, and we still want to talk about these celebrities trying to run for office. We'll get to that here in just a little bit, but I am excited for our next guest. Never had him on the program before, but excited to have him on now as we talk about reopening after COVID-19, some of the loans, how businesses have survived over the last year, and what can we do to try and, boost that a little bit now that things are starting to slowly open up in many parts of the country, getting rid of the mask mandates. Well, that's right. You can only stop wearing the mask if you've gotten the vaccine, but how do you know if you've gotten the vaccine? These are the questions. Yeah. So as things start to open, businesses trying to get back on track, but yet people still wanting to stay on the unemployment as well. It's a mess out there economically, but how can we keep our small businesses surviving the way we have over the last year? Excited to have on. He's the co-founder of A10 Capital, also SBA-approved PPP lender. Excited to have on here Mr. Todd Lindsay. Todd, how are you, my friend? Nope. Are you there? I think I hit the wrong button. Are you there, Todd?
Yep, I'm here.
Hey, there we go. Good to have you on the program. Appreciate that very much. The small business loans, we've heard some stories about some of these loans, how they weren't really getting to many small businesses. They got to some, but a lot of the larger corporations, larger companies in the nation really sucked up a lot of this money, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. The PPP program, the Paycheck Protection Program, ended up making over 11 million loans so far. Lots of them, as you say, to the bigger small businesses. The SBA describes a small business as generally as a company with less than 500 employees. So, they're not Fortune 500 companies, but there's some pretty big ones in there. And the way that the program was rolled out, the bigger small businesses certainly had a lot more access to it than the truly small businesses. And by a truly small business, I mean a company with 3 to 5 employees or less. Those are the ones that have been kind of left out. The main reason for this was at the very beginning of the program. I'm not exactly sure who developed the commission structure, but the way that the lenders were paid, including us, to make these loans, we were incentivized to make larger loans. And I'm not just a little bit. Like the biggest loan we could make was $10 million. We would get a $100,000 fee. Your average sole proprietor, smallest business, you're talking about a $10,000 to $20,000 loan amount and a fee that was probably in the $500 to $1,000 level. So a huge difference there. And the cost structure to do all these loans was the same for the lenders. So it cost the big banks, they say, about $2,000 a loan to do these things. So they're not in the business to lose money. And if they would have done our smallest businesses, they would have been losing money every time they did a loan. So they didn't. They went to the bigger ones.
They just didn't even want to go to the small ones. So have we seen any stats over the last year on small business, truly small business, that couldn't access some of this money, that maybe have shut doors or just weren't able to make it through the pandemic? I mean, because that's got to be devastating.
Yeah, they're saying they're anticipating 30 to 40% of our truly smallest businesses will probably not make it.
Wow.
We've done 25,000 of these PPP loans. We've done a tremendous number of them to smaller businesses, and I can tell you that the use of the money, although a relatively small amount of money compared to these bigger businesses, all they're doing with it is paying down credit card debt that they had to use to survive, replenishing their savings accounts, doing things like that if they're able to access it. And the way the system worked, that towards the end of the program, a combination of changes that the Trump administration made on the way out and a couple changes that the Biden administration made really finally gave access to these smallest businesses for these loans. And they were coming like crazy. We did 500,000 loans the last week the program was running before it shut down on May 3rd. there was supposedly about 5 million borrowers in the queue, all small businesses with an average loan size of about $15,000, and that compares to the bigger businesses getting about 150 on average in the queue, waiting to get it when the money ran out. So all those people, unless the government does something to kind of right the ship, are going to be out of luck.
Wow, it's really concerning. Now, a lot of these, most of this was forgivable, wasn't it? Or some of these, were these loans that people, actually businesses had to pay back depending on what they used it for, though, right?
Yes, but 99+% of them have been forgiven, and the way that the Treasury Department and the SBA last year worked very, very hard to improve the forgiveness process. As long as you essentially use the money for payroll and some other approved expenses, and if you're the smallest business, like a sole proprietorship, you just had to pay yourself, so that was pretty easy. So those guys, all their loans will be forgiven, and like I said, 99% of the loans are being forgiven. The ones that aren't are fraud, and obviously we hope that all those people are tracked down.
Well, yeah, that's the next question, is because we did see a story about a number of small, quote-unquote, small businesses that fraudulently took money out and got the PPP loans when they weren't supposed to, and they were either fraud businesses where they didn't even were operational, they didn't have any type of any legitimacy, or they said they had employees and, oh yeah, we had 10 employees and I need to keep my payroll up, and they didn't have any employees and they were just kind of a homegrown business and went out and bought a bunch of vehicles and Lamborghinis and stuff with it. There were a lot of those. I mean, but they're not going to get away with it. It sounds like the IRS is cracking down quite a bit on some of those, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They've been doing a really good job, and they're working with the lending community, including us, to anything we see, we report, and we've been doing that from the very beginning. I think the people that cheated the system are going to be hunted down, and many of them will be found. And I think they're. It looks like to us they're prosecuting them as well, which is great. That's those people. It's like everything else. There's a small percentage of the people that are crooks, and they take advantage of the system, whether it's unemployment or the PPP program or whatever. Most people are good, hardworking people. It's unfortunate that this fringe group gets away with the stuff that they do.
Yeah, amen to that. But when money's involved, they always got to find a way to try and take as much of it as they can. We're talking with Todd Lindsay, co-founder of A10 Capital, also SBA-approved PPP lender. Let's talk about the other side. After all this, we tried to slowly start opening things back up after COVID. But then this spring, around February, we got hit with that major extreme cold storm that hit the Mid-America region, other places as well, where, I mean, here in Wichita, we saw gas rates go up by from $3 or $6 per cubic foot to $600 per cubic foot because of with how crazy the prices went there. So many places being shut down with all their energy. Have you seen or heard from any small businesses struggling to pay off those electric bills and utility bills now that we're trying to open up? And then, oh, hey, we're going to get hit with this massive cold freezing storm that's going to triple or quadruple your energy bills.
Yeah, all of those things add up as just more things that the small business people are battling. You could kind of attribute some of that, the fuel shortages, caused by various things throughout the country, some weather-related, but all supply chain disruption right now is causing problems for small businesses. If you're in the manufacturing business, right now it's hard to get certain items, and if you can't get one you need, you can't make what you're making. And if you're in the trades right now, you need certain things to finish houses and build them, and you can't get them. And so the supply chain is definitely going to take some time to come back, and that's just going to be another obstacle for these small businesses to overcome. And it's why we're trying to get the government to consider just figuring out a way to extend this PPP program just for these small borrowers so that they have, equal access, similar to what the bigger businesses had. It won't take nearly the same amount of money because the loan sizes are so small, but it would be good to, give these people a boost, whether they need it just to weather what's coming at them now and new, or just to, replenish what they had to spend to survive the last year and few months. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I'd like to wonder when I'm not going to have to pay $10 a board to go and actually, get some wood at Lowe's or Home Depot soon, because it's crazy. I mean, is there any forecast on when the market may stabilize and get back to normal? Because I know trade and depending on shutdowns in places in other countries are still kind of up in the air right now.
Yeah, so that's a really good one. And it presents a problem on the other side. So, lumber prices really spiked. I'm sure you heard a 2x6 stud was $12 and a sheet of plywood was well over $100, right? Well, those prices have started to stabilize, but a lot of these small businesses, if you have a lumber yard, well, what did you need to do 2 months ago? Well, you were buying lumber and it was really expensive, and now that price has come down quite a bit. So you're kind of getting whipsawed by the commodity markets. So when these supply chain disruptions happen, price goes up. If you have to have it, you get it. But then if the price retreats, which lots of times it will, then you're stuck in the middle, and that's not a good place to be, especially if you're buying lots of stuff. It can wipe people out very quickly.
I feel so bad for businesses because not only are they trying to come back from COVID, they're trying to worry about vaccines and masks and trying to reopen and get people hired with the unemployment benefits, but then we have to worry about the raw material prices going up and inflation with all the spending and then all the trade deals that we're still waiting on from the Biden administration. It's kind of like the ag community. So there's so much out of your hands. It's like, how do you even survive? I feel bad for everybody. Todd Lindsay, co-founder A10 Capital. You can find him online at a10capital.com. I appreciate the content. It's great information. We'd love to get you back on the program again here real soon.
Thanks for having me anytime.
Hey, absolutely. Yeah, that's really great stuff as we kind of look at what the economy is doing right now. It's so much is up in the air, but with COVID, with raw materials, with inflation, with trade policies, it's crazy to see how all that's actually going to play and what it could look like in the next few months. Maybe, just maybe, we could see some of the prices level out again. All right, we'll take a break, wrap up the program today for a Tuesday, the post-Monday, the post-Memorial holiday here on The Voice of Reason. When we come back, celebrities, are they going to be the future of politics? That's going to be the big question. We'll talk about some of that and more right here for a Tuesday, a Super Tuesday here on The Voice of Reason. Stay here.
The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Hey, it's Andy Hooser with The Voice of Reason. Fighting for conservative principles seems more difficult all the time. The progressive left seems to find new and creative ways to limit freedom, abuse power, and trample the Constitution each and every day. That's why we need the knowledge, resources, and common sense to push back, and we can help with that. Visit our website at HooserReason.com. There's some really great stuff for you. You can read the latest blog discussing topical issues and current events. Let us know your thoughts by filling out our monthly survey. Keep track of what I might be doing or where I may be speaking. Listen to the podcast of your favorite guest or show, and check out our latest Voice of Reason product infomercials. Plus, you can find upcoming show schedules and guest lineups to plan your radio listening appropriately. And finally, make sure to become a Hoosier-holic by subscribing to the free newsletter. Stay up to date on the latest news of the show, fun facts of the month, and learn new ways to defend and preserve this great republic. It's all there at HooserReason.com. Again, HooserReason.com. Go check it out. Why? Because it's kind of the reasonable thing to do. Miss part of the show? Don't worry about it. There's plenty of ways to catch the program. And here's how you can do it. First, make sure to tune in every day right here on your favorite radio station. We're here for you. Second, subscribe to the podcast on any of your favorite sites. YouTube and iTunes, Spotify and Google Play, TuneIn, Podbean, and more. Have the show automatically downloaded to your favorite device. Last, visit our website at HooserReason.com. You can listen to the podcast, catch our special features, and more. It's the Voice of Reason on radio, TV, and online, helping you defend and preserve this great republic. Hey, it's Andy Hooser. Want to reach out to the show? A big part of the program is you, and we want to hear from you. Let us know your thoughts of the show, maybe a guest we've had on the program, or my favorite, when you disagree with something that I talk about. You can email me at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com or send us a message through our website at HooserReason.com. The show's not about me, it's about you. So be heard and be your own voice of reason. Again, email me at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com or find our contact information at HooserReason.com. Oh, hi. You know, conservative messages now are more important than ever before. Election season, state legislative issues, and a rise in the radical left socialist progressive agenda. What we really need now more than ever before is knowledge and wisdom. That's where we come in. Hi, I'm Andy Hooser with The Voice of Reason, and I'm your voice for reasonable talk, conservative commentary, great guests and entertainment on radio, TV, and the internet. It's time to bring some common sense back into the discussion. National issues, state legislative issues, no matter where you may be, upcoming elections, and a heck of a lot more, we can bring traditional values, constitutional principles, and local activism back. And here's what you can do. First, follow us on all the social media platforms at Hoosier Reason. You can watch the live stream of the show, leave comments, and even call into the program. Second, make sure to subscribe to the podcast on all of your audio devices, from iTunes and Spotify to Google Play and TuneIn. Make sure to subscribe to have every episode automatically downloaded so you don't miss a single episode. Third, make sure to visit our website at HooserReason.com. You can catch our monthly blog talking about deeper discussions, see who's coming on the program, plus you can sign up for our free monthly newsletter to catch the latest on the show, monthly topics, upcoming interviews, and more. It's time to be that local activist again. That's what the Voice of Reason's all about. Why? Because that's kind of the reasonable thing to do. And it's time for you to speak up, speak out, speak loud, speak proud, speak the truth, and always speak some reason. Hey, miss a show? Don't worry about it. You have plenty of opportunities to watch, listen, learn, and be entertained with the Voice of Reason anytime you want. And here's how you can do it. First, become a Hooserholic by going to HooserReason.com and signing up for the show newsletter to get the latest on the show, upcoming guests, topical discussions, and more. Next, subscribe to the podcast and have the show automatically downloaded to any platform you like to use. You can subscribe through any of your favorite platforms with iTunes and Spotify, Google Play and TuneIn, or you can also go and subscribe directly to our Podbean website. Last, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com, search Hooser Reason, and subscribe to watch all of our shows, videos, and get notified whenever we're live. All the links and info are at HooserReason.com. Hey, I hope you're enjoying the program today. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on any of your favorite podcasting sites and have the show automatically downloaded to your phone or computer every single day. Just find us on any podcasting site or go to HooserReason.podbean.com. And be sure to check out our Patreon site, become the ultimate Hooserholic, and help us fight for conservative values every day. Why? Because it's kind of the reasonable thing to do. Now back to the national broadcast of the Voice of Reason.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
There we go. Welcome back into the program. Thanks for hanging out today on a post-Memorial Tuesday here on the show, the fastest hour of radio on radio. I don't care what any other talk show host says. By far the fastest hour of radio on radio and TV and live streaming and podcasting and all that stuff as well. Thanks again to Todd Lindsay coming on the program. We appreciate him very much. Great information. Great information. Can you imagine? Imagination. Imagine for yourself just for a moment if you own a business and you have to wait on trade policy from the Biden administration. You have to wait on COVID policy from not only the U.S. government or your state or your community, but also globally as well, based on where you're actually going to trade. You also need to wait on some of the inflation rates on what raw materials are going to be costing because you're trying to actually purchase raw material. Imagine all of those things as a business. And then trying to say, oh, your customer comes in and says, oh, your prices are too high. I'm not going to spend any money with you. It's a weird position to be in, and I feel bad for every small business out there in the nation right now. It really is. It's a really bad situation to actually be in. So that's why you see businesses now that are trying to do the inflation of, well, we're going to charge you more by making a bigger box to make it look like you get more. And maybe you'll get a little bit more, but you're not going to get a whole lot more. Because we're just going to charge you with that. It's kind of a weird situation for sure for everybody to be in. Got a message on social media. Sounds like you're getting COVID. No, I'm not getting COVID. Thank you very much. I'm not around anybody. I never get COVID. No, it was working outside all weekend for Memorial Weekend, trying to get the Hooser Media Network garden up and going with the herbs and plants for the holistic medicine stuff that Mrs. Voice of Reason is going to be doing with the show on the Hooser Media Network, talking about some natural ways of using certain herbs and plants and roots and everything else. And that's totally above me. I don't know anything about it, but she's doing it, and she's going to have some really cool stuff. Which, speaking of, the other big exciting news we had over the weekend was outside of the gardening and stuff, working outside, which was really nice, honestly. I kind of enjoy working outside over the weekend. Did get a little sunburnt, that's okay. But I was excited about that. But at the same time, the Hooser Media Network studios almost getting closer. We got the third round of mudding done on the drywall, and now I can start the sanding and the painting process. I'm excited. Again, never done this process in my life by myself before, and I did all of it, from hanging the drywall to taping it to mudding it. Now I'm going to be doing the sanding and the painting, all of it moi. So if you're in the middle of a broadcast and then all of a sudden it all comes crumbling down, don't blame me, because I did my best, by golly. But we sure tried. So I'm excited because we got a lot of work done over the weekend, and I feel really good about it. All right, we got a few minutes left here. I want to shift gears for just a moment. celebrities, and we may talk more about this on the program tomorrow because we have some really cool stuff lined up for this entire week, so you're not going to want to miss any of it. But celebrities and politics, is this the way we're going? We've already kind of hit the celebrity status kind of thing in politics and the politicians. I mean, we have Barack Obama. He said nothing on the campaign trail. Nothing. All he said was hope and change. All right. And George W. Bush, he's a Nazi and a fascist and probably like Hitler and something. And hope and change. And we're going to change things up. And yep, it's going to be great. Hope and change. Vote for me. And people did. People love the hope and change mentality. They love the fundamentally transforming America, which to us as conservatives, we cringed on that one a little bit. Like, wait a second. Hold on here. Don't really want you to fundamentally change the nation because fundamentally we are solid, baby. We have the Constitution. We have a foundation that is rock solid, that is unlike any other nation on the face of the earth. We're awesome. Yeah, we need to tweak some few things here and there. Yeah, we need to work on some things and better ourselves on some things. Sure. But to fundamentally change everything that we're about, no, we don't want to do that. But some people loved it. They loved the suave thing. They loved the cool, hip Barack Obama, where he was kicking his feet up in the White House with a cigarette in his mouth, with his feet on the table, talking on the phone. He was the cool man, Barack Obama was. He was the cool president, and that's why people loved him. His policies were terrible. He was horrible for the nation politically, but people loved him because he was cool. Go further back, you had Bill Clinton. He was on the late TV shows playing the saxophone. He was the cool guy. Which is probably why he did so well on Jeffrey Epstein's Island. Ha-ha! Boom! See what we did there? Monica Lewinsky loved it, at least. Oh, another one! Oh, see? There you go. See, politics has always been about the celebrity status. It's not about the ideas. It's not about the talking points. It's about how suave you can be when you say it and how cool and hip you can be when you say it. That's why people loved Donald Trump, because he just said what was on his mind, and he didn't care whether it upset someone or not. That was the New Yorker coming out of him, and people absolutely loved it. So now, is that going to be the new future? With Donald Trump opening up celebrity statuses to just say things and get elected? You have Caitlyn Jenner running for governor in California. Matthew McConaughey considering his run for governor in Texas, as he says the face masks were a short-term inconvenience for a long-term freedom. Is that something that's going to go over well in the state of Texas? I highly doubt it. But he can say what he wants to on the campaign trail. It's whether it will resonate with the voters or not. That does it for us today. Podcast going up in a bit. We're back at it tomorrow. It's going to be a great week right here on The Voice of Reason. Until then, I'm Andy Hooser. You're a Voice of Reason as well. We'll see you on the airwaves tomorrow. Hey, it's Andy Hooser. While you listen to the delightful broadcast of The Voice of Reason, don't forget to check us out and follow us on all of our social media sites. Whether you're using Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Minds.com, or Instagram, we're there for you. Find us at Hooser Reason on any of your social media platforms. You'll see special commentary, links to the articles and news that we use on the show, and videos of the broadcast. Plus, you can directly send us a message on social media during the show to let me know your thoughts. Many already do, and it's a great chat room for all of our great listeners. And you can always sign up for the Patreon site to get exclusive content, maybe hear show products before we air them on the radio, and a lot more. And when you support us on Patreon, you also help the show be able to fight for conservative values each and every day. So it's a win-win. Just find us at Hooser Reason on all of your social media platforms, or you can find a link to all of our social media sites on our website at HooserReason.com. We know you're on social media already, so bring some reason into your day. Why? Because it's kind of the reasonable thing to do.